Today we're counting a plant. Actually, the word that I have is we're courting a plant with a prickly reputation and a silky resume. Meet nettle, nature's green lightning bolt, famous for the sting, beloved for the spring. We'll cook it, decode it, and conjure with it. Culinary healing, magical, and even a little recreational mischief. Gloves on, curiosity up.
I loved I loved that when you sent it to me.
Well, thank
this
you.
is awesome. It's a perfect description.
Yes. And I want to welcome everybody to a Laugh and Learn, a magic tool talk. Today, we are joined by Diana, oil painter. We are talking about the herb nettle. And for those of you who do not know me for some reason, my name is Gerald. I'm TAROTSTASH. I am glad to have you here. If you're watching this on my channel, I have all of the links below, including links to previous Laugh and Learns and Magic Tool Talks. So you can find places to be able to backtrack and find all of the good information that's available. So,
and if you're watching it on my channel, of course, I was negligent, didn't get it all posted. So if any of my monitors are so inclined, please post all of Gerald's information there.
well, thank you.
You're welcome.
I do want to say what's really important is this is for entertainment purposes only. Do not make decisions based upon what we say. Seek professional assistance, really, because this is not medical advice. Consult a qualified clinician before using nettle therapeutically, especially if you are pregnant, nursing, on blood thinners, blood pressure or diabetes medications, or with kidney heart conditions. Harvest the young tops before flowering and wear gloves. Blanch and cook them to neutralize the stinging hairs and the potential side effects. GI upset. No one wants that. There's rash and rare allergies. However, yeah, you have an allergy to it? Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even know it was there. Because I thought, there's a variety of dandelion that will grow very, very, very tall. And it was in with that.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was protecting the dandelion, right? So
of course it was.
They intermingle because it's such a protective plant. Other plants that mimic it in its formation, what's that leaf formation called? Just slipped my mind. Anyway, they'll sneak in there and grow with them because of the protection from herbivores.
Of course.
And the fact that pollinators are attracted to this plant. Well, everything's died back, and I'm out there pulling all up these giant, huge dandelions, which are the bane of everything. And till I started making salves. And then a couple of hours later, my arms are on fire from here to here. And I know I didn't get into any poison ivy, but it was intermingled with stinging nettle, and I did not know it at the time, right?
Yep.
So I'm driving in the car, of course, and I'm like looking at these arms that are on fire and itching like crazy. And the only thing I had was some lavender lip balm. Happened to be doTERRA. I don't know if anybody else's was as good or not, but I just smeared that whole tube all over my arms. And by the time I got home, it was calmed down.
That's good.
So I've never gotten into it again to see if that was just like getting a vaccine, and maybe I won't erupt from it again.
Well, I'll let you be the one to try that if you want. I've been stung by nettles, and I'm not interested in ever repeating it. So. There are a lot of really good resources out there for you to use. One that I talk about is the Cunningham's Encyclopedia of Magical Herbs.
Yep, I got that one too. And this,
Oftentimes, it's a classic. It's considered a classic. Initially published in, let's see, it was this was the 2020 2014 printing. It's the 24th printing of it. So it's been around for, it was originally published in 1985.
yep. And then there's this one, The Lost Book of Herbal Remedies, which is also
Yes.
very good. And you'll find a lot of things in here from there. And
Yes.
let me show that picture right now
Okay.
of what you're looking for when you see this. That is stinging nettle. And what happens is these little tiny hairs, they're hollow. And they're like porcupine quills, but they're you think they're soft till you touch them, you break them. And
yes.
that is what causes the issue. That's what causes the issue.
Oh, yeah. So the encyclopedia, Cunningham's Encyclopedia, is very good. That's a go-to for me. This is also a go-to for me. PDR for herbal medicines. Purchase responsibly, know your limits. There are also the NCCIH has got good notes. There's peer-reviewed overviews. I did a lot of research, got a lot of research on that. So,
Yeah.
But anyhow, just so that you're aware of it, do your searching. It's extremely helpful.
Yes.
And I do want to say hello to everyone.
Please.
I see a lot of people. We've got great people watching. So instead of going through individually, I'm going to say, hello, best chatters. Hello, work lurkers. We see you. Thank you for showing up to work today. Thank you, best lurkers, because I know you're here. You're either driving or you're doing something else. And thank you, future lurkers, for those of you who are watching on the playback. Now, this series came up in conversation in my coven part of what we did. Oh, goodness. How long ago was it? I have all of my notes when we were studying, when we were doing some herbal studies. So this is what has inspired that. And of course, do I actually have a date of when this started? I think it was 2020, end of 2020, 2021, where we were using that as an opportunity to everybody do some research. Do some research because we could do that.
And that was a good time to be looking for alternatives to COVID.
Exactly. Exactly.
And that would have been a good one because of its antihistamine properties. In spite of the fact that it is an aggravant and can cause allergies, the leaves contain the antidote for the problem.
Exactly. Exactly. More people have come in. Thank you. Today, we are doing a Laugh and Learn and a Magic Tool talk about nettle. With that in mind, we are just two people who are sharing our experiences for entertainment purposes only. Someone I recently interviewed on the channel, I don't know if she's watching, but the Veiled Cottage Witch, Joey, has an exceptionally has an exhaustive playlist of herbs and magical herbs. So if you really want something to entice you and to inform you, I encourage you to go do that. I have not made it through any of them, to be honest with you. I've been a little bit busy, but that's okay. I do want to see a show of hands for those of you who are watching. How many of you have ever used nettle for either, how many of you have ever used nettle on purpose? We'll say on purpose. There you go. Diana, whatever could you be talking about?
I have nettle tea in my cup.
Mm-hmm.
I drink a cup a day, if not more. And sometimes I just love it. I do. So
yes. I like
And it's
that.
perfect to put in calamity wear.
Oh, I like that. That's fun. And if you haven't used nettle, is there a reason? Did you not think about it, or is this something new to be aware of? And oh yeah, there you go. Pharmacy with an F. Absolutely.
Love it, love it. That's perfect hypnicity.
Timmy did say, not on purpose. Been stung plenty by accident. Yeah. Yeah. Is artichoke a member of the nettle family?
Oh, good question, but I don't think so, because I don't think so. Don't trust me on that. But artichoke will choke out a lot of other plants.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you're trying to get rid of thistle, Scotch thistle,
Mm-hmm.
the big ones with the nails coming out of the sides.
Uh-huh.
If you plant artichoke, it will choke it out.
Ah,
But
okay.
then you got artichoke. And they're a pain to cook for me.
Kelly needs to learn about it. And Lindsay, I love nettle and love making nettle infusions.
There you go.
Sherry has no idea. Sherry, you're here for the right reason.
Yep.
And yes, you can use it in tea and make a
Mm-hmm.
tea. We will get to that.
Mm-hmm.
And so it didn't occur to Kristen Louise. So
Kelly, it might help you a lot.
okay. Oh, we will totally get to the magical properties. We've got a whole section on that. Josh is here. Hello, Josh. Good to see you. Thank you. One of the things that we're doing is I've got this little thing going. We're going to use sage. And what I mean by sage is we're going to give our story and the science about the herb. We're going to the A is for the applications, which are the culinary, healing, magical, and recreational uses. We're going to offer you guidance for the G. And then E, we're going to be using an opportunity for some engagement. So you can, if we have a demo about it, something along those lines, so that we can do that. So there's that. And you know what? I just realized what I should do is I should do this so that everybody understands. There, we'll do that. So SAGE.
I love your little acronym for that.
Thank you.
All the wisdom is packed in there. I love it.
Yes, it is. Okay, so let's get into the story and the science. And the first thing I'm going to tell you is okay, you pronounced it correctly.
Did I?
Urtica
Dioica. Right, 2 residents.
There you go.
Urtica means burning, and dioica means 2 residents. So may I go on?
Please go on. This is great.
Okay, the female plant remains female, will not sprout any male flowers, and the male plant remains male and will not sprout any female plants. There's many plants that will grow both on their stems. These two have their own nature, but they both sting. And urtica is about stinging. and there is a process called this is really hard to say without looking at the word. Urtification.
Okay.
Or something like that. But it is like using it on purpose for the histamine that it provides as a vaccine.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And people do that. And if you think about acupuncture, it's similar. It's stimulating a nerve when it does that.
I like that. Hypnicity has followed up. Artichoke are thistles, not nettles.
Yes, but it will, artichokes
Will
choke out.
choke out the nettles if you need
Yeah,
to, or something that you don't want to grow there.
right.
Angela Cardamancy Mesquite has arrived. Thank you for being here.
Yay.
So it is a perennial
Yeah.
with stinging trichomes.
Yeah.
The sting is neutralized by heat or drying. It has nutrients, which are minerals, iron, calcium, and potassium, vitamin K, and polyphenols, which is antioxidants. We
And
have a tendency to talk a lot about the antis.
there's chock full of antis. Plus, it has amino acids and fats. And it also is high in A and B1 and B2. And it is the highest in chlorophyll of all the plants.
Very nice.
Right? And magnesium as well as potassium, copper. So there's a whole bunch of things that it does. It's astringent, it's tonic, it's diuretic, it's anodyne, it's pectoral. If you're nursing, it'll stimulate milk production. Rubeficient, whatever that is, it's septic. So the leaves will be a poultice that will stop bleeding.
Yes.
Anti, that's another name I can't pronounce. And another name I can't pronounce, but it is anti-lithic, homeostasis.
Yep.
Homeostatic, sorry, that's the way to say it here. It's a decongestant, herpatic. Say that fast, really, 3 times.
No.
Febrifuge, whatever that is, it helps flush your kidneys. It's hypoglycemic. So if you find yourself dropping and you have some, I mean, you can find nettle in a candy.
Yeah.
That would work.
So yeah, so there's a lot of things there. So, and some of those we'll talk about here in the applications. We'll dive deep into those things. Beth, Aspasia rising. The pioneers used to save nettle for the harsh winters to make tea and other edibles to get vitamins and minerals.
And the Romans used it to keep them warm. They would purposely sting themselves with it to keep themselves warm during.
How interesting.
Isn't that something?
Yes. And by the way, just so that you all know, here's a side note. Everybody look up Aspasia, as in from Roman times. Really interesting. Fascinating. Beth got me involved in that, and I enjoyed that rabbit hole with my AI.
Oh, there
Josh
we
said, "Weird."
I will do that when we're done.
Yes. Josh said, "Weird. I had artichoke at the Renaissance Fair in Colorado. It was delicious. Odd to find it in the Royal Food Court." And Sherry said, "So if you have high allergies and like an EpiPen, should you be around it?"
Consult your physician first.
Yes, we don't know any of that. Check with your physician.
Right.
So,
I mean, I'm sure there's a balanced science to all of it as far as medicinal purposes go. Yes. So even your holistic practitioner would have a better answer than I can do for you.
Sure. So you know some things related to story about nettle.
I
do. Do share.
I will. So Hans Christian Andersen wrote a story about Elisa and her 11 brothers. And they had a wicked witch for a mother. And the wicked witch put a spell on the brothers and turned them all into swans. Well, Elisa wanted her brothers back. And so a little fairy came to her and told her to go gather nettle in a graveyard at night, and then to spin the fibers into green yarn that would be prickly, and then to use it and knit 11 coats. And she had just a certain amount of time. And she was not to speak through the whole process.
Oh, goodness.
She was
Okay.
only supposed to concentrate on that. Well, the time went by and she got all of them done but the 11th coat. She got everything done in time except for one sleeve. So she hurried up and threw the coats all on all of them, including the unfinished coat, and it happened to fall on the shoulders of her youngest brother. Every single one of them, the spell was broken and they turned back into her brothers. But the youngest one carried the reminder of her dedication and her sacrifice and her love for them, because he had one arm that remained a swan's wing.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Right? And then they got away from the evil mother, and she met a handsome king and he married her, and they all lived happily ever after.
Yeah.
But there are other stories that follow up from this. And of course, the next one to come along would be the Brothers Grimm.
Of course.
Of course.
Always trying to one up each other.
Right? Only instead of 11, they had 6.
Okay.
But the story is pretty much the same. And then in more modern times, we have The Seventh Swan by Nicholas Stewart Gray and A Wild Winter by Gregory Maguire. And if you've ever read anything by Gregory Maguire, right? Like,
oh, yes.
Like, just think Wicked and,
yes,
all of that. Okay. And there's another one called Birdwing by Rafe Martin. And those carry on with the brother with the one swan arm.
There you go. Okay. Very interesting. Very interesting. So let's talk about the app. Wait a minute. Okay. This is where I have the applications.
Okay.
And the applications, particularly, we're talking about the culinary uses, the healing uses, the magical and the recreational uses. So I have for the application. Let's start with the culinary uses. And part of the culinary uses in my research has been you can use the greens in gratins, soup, or sautés.
Mm-hmm.
And the flavor is similar to spinach once cooked.
It has it's a very soothing flavor. It really is. Dandelion is a little more pungent.
Mm-hmm.
You said it in the description. This is smooth and silky.
Yes. Yes.
Now, in a pot this size, I use 2 bags, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can make it stronger if you want, but I prefer to not add any honey or anything to it. So I like it on the slightly weaker side.
Yes. Also, in my research, you can use it for nettle pasta or pesto. Sorry, nettle
pesto. Yeah,
pesto.
I was just going to.
Yes. You can also use nettle pudding, which is an old British-style savory greens dumpling with barley flour.
Ooh, that actually sounds good. You can put it in cake.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
It's such a subtle flavor that I can see how it would enhance if you're making a carrot cake or something like that, spice cake.
You can also use it to make nettle beer.
Ooh. Well, now that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, there's a Heritage Hedgerow brew. And the cooked greens are traditionally said to improve complexion and circulation. So that's a hardcore folk belief.
Well, and that also goes back to the sting of the little hairs.
Absolutely.
Right? And
yes.
It's really not an easy plant to get rid of because it grows by rhizome. So it plus seeds, it fertilizes that way as well.
Yeah.
There's also in Cornwall, they added to a cheese that is called Cornish yarg.
Interesting.
Yeah, it sounds like a Stilton or something very strong, right?
Well,
Maybe.
and I would say, if you need a nettle cocktail hour, you have a nettle beer, you have some bread, and herbed bread with nettle,
Right?
and some of that cheese. So
Serving wench, come to the table now.
yeah, there you go. And then Ms. Tarot D shows up and serves it. Yeah, because that's how you go. Okay. So let's go ahead and talk about the healing uses of nettle. Again, entertainment purposes only, people. Be aware of that.
Right?
So some of the notes that I have, these are kind of older notes that I've actually typed up. Circulatory, respiratory, and general vitality, because you can use it as a purification bath. That could also be a magical use, or a pot of nettle tea, a pot of nettle under a sick bed. That's a folk practice. The infusion or the tea is a tonic and taken for colds and to clear phlegm.
Mm-hmm.
That's something that back in 2020 and 2021, nettle tea was really powerful and very useful to helping to keep. It was a preventative thing. Let's keep our respiratory system working well. It's good for it's a health restorative. It supports the circulation and it clears the lungs.
Yeah. Expectorant. So it gets everything stimulated, right?
Yes.
I also have it's used for burns and insect bites and wounds, and that it would be made double strength as an infusion to wash out burns.
Yes.
Especially, and on sunburns, just putting it on the skin, even light as it's made here.
Yes.
This is detoxified, right? What they've already done, I'm not having to worry about. I'm not harvesting this. Plus, I don't think I have any growing here right now. I haven't seen it.
Mm-hmm. Well, and Lindsay shared, I love nettle for all the phlegm stuff. My mom healed her chronic bronchitis with nettle infusion. She had it since she was a teenager. I'm glad that worked for her.
Well, and I bet that using nettle in a steamer, like we used to have a vaporizer.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Right? Putting that in there, even with Vicks or whatever other eucalyptus product you use, that would all stimulate.
Absolutely. It's also, for bleeding or the skin, you could stuff your nose with it to stop nosebleeds. Ow.
Well, yeah, to stop a nosebleed, this is what the nuns in Catholic school taught me. We have 2 nostrils and 2 front teeth. Above each, there's a blood vessel. Press on the gum above whichever nostril is bleeding as hard as you can for as long as you can. When you release that, it should be done. Okay. So if it takes 4 or 5 minutes, it takes 4 or 5 minutes, but at least you're not dripping. There
you go. It can also be used externally for bruises if you use it as a tincture.
Yeah.
It is a diuretic. You use it for edema and water retention. It's used diabetes and blood sugar for entertainment purposes only. Contact your doctor. And it is one of those things that if you are the research that I show is like you monitor with the clinician if using it alongside medications.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's good at helping with blood pressure control,
anemia, cardiac insufficiency, swellings, enlarged spleen, and as a whole well-being body tonic.
Yes.
Sprains, cramps, tendonitis, sciatica, even if it's the piriformis, which is often confused with sciatica, you know, make a poultice with some extra magnesium brine, because as a water to water,
Sure.
it'll mix easier. Menstrual problems, women with heavy bleeding and other menstrual problems benefit from stinging nettle. She doesn't say in this book whether to use it as an infusion or a tea, but one has got to be supportive of the other.
Yes. What one would hope. However,
Yeah.
you do you, kids. It's also good for it can be helpful for relieving painful muscles or muscle aches. So it could help with arthritis in that regards. So
just drinking the tea, I notice.
Yeah. I mean, and Tea Garden Chicken loves nettle. So
and then there's always a hair rinse.
Oh yeah, yes, the hair rinse, because
right?
it's supposed to help with hair growth. Keep your healthy hair.
So. Yeah, right. Strengthens it, and use it with horsetail and rosemary. Mix it together. Make a rinse tincture out of that and pour it over your hair.
Yes. Okay, a lot of people, we had Kristen Louise initially was asking about what are the magical uses of nettle. Would you like to start with the magical uses of nettle?
First and foremost, protection, shields up, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can use it in rituals and spells if you want to banish somebody.
Yes.
Also to break spells, as we just witnessed in Hans Christian Andersen's fairy tale. So dispelling negative energy, and especially if you feel that you're have been under psychic attack, or someone is after you, for sure. So breaking or counter spell, if somebody has, and you just want to, mirrors up, what you do to me goes back to you.
Yes.
It's a threshold herb.
Yeah. What does that mean, a threshold herb?
It's going between worlds, into the void, into another world, into the death and life. One we all witness sooner or later.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
And it's also called the Great Awakening. And I always think of Rumi, because Rumi said, it's morning. Don't go back to sleep. Wake up. And it's true. The minute you wake up to something or to the day, get up and begin what it is you need to experience, what it is you need to learn, what karma you need to dispel. So I can see how it is. Nothing will wake you up faster than a burning arm filled with
of course. Of course. Yeah. I also have for protection, exorcism, uncrossing. The idea of uncrossing. And Scott Cunningham in the book actually talks about sprinkling nettle around the house to keep evil out and to send it back. It's also thrown into a fire to avert danger. And held in the hand to ward off ghost. So that's and carried with yarrow to allay fear, and worn as an amulet to keep negativity away.
And just like thyme and rosemary and all the other herbs, hang it at the door.
Yes.
As a boundary.
Yes. Well, and you're speaking about boundaries. Terry had said it can use as a physical barrier to keep troublemakers out of the spaces, like between garages, alleyways, that corner where kids ride through in the yard, because they're thorny. Absolutely. You put it into below a window that might be hidden. Absolutely.
Yeah,
for sure. Absolutely.
And just to release your own harmful patterns that no longer serve your purpose,
Mm-hmm.
such as
Oh,
smoking,
yes.
any of those things it can do for you. It's all about intention, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. If Angela's still here, yes, it's all about intention, right, Angela? So, well, and also in the magical uses, Cunningham says that it is a masculine plant. The planet is associated with it is Mars and the element of fire. When you are thinking about magical uses and you're doing your thing, if you need something that is a masculine energy associated with Mars and an element of fire, in particular around protection and removal, curse removal, nettle may be the one for you.
And all fire signs, Aries, which is ruled by Mars, Sagittarius, and Leo. Also, nettle is good for the sun, as the sun is not a planet; it's a luminary, but it is the ball
Yes.
of fire in the sky. And
Mhm.
then in Ayurvedic, it is align it with Veda personality. That hot, running hot. I run hot.
Ah, there you go. There you go. Kristen Louise, if you're still here, uh, does that give you a little bit of oomph with it? I also wanted to put this up. I put in my chat. This is Joey, the cottage veil. Oh, sorry. It's the veiled cottage witch, her website that with the playlist. It's a good playlist. So there's that. And yeah,
It's
there you
aligned
go.
with the god of Thor,
Okay. Yes.
and it is said if you carry that, then and honor him, you are protected from lightning. And it's also aligned with Loki, the trickster,
Mm-hmm.
because it is a shield. It is your barrier. It sets your boundary.
Yes.
It helps you catch the trickster energy.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Butterflies love this plant. So it's a host for lots of pollinators, right? My bees will go to it. Bees love it.
Mm-hmm.
Butterflies, the red admirals, the painted ladies, the small tortoiseshell, the peacocks, the commas, and they are very fond of it because they're little and they can navigate the hairs as well as be able
Oh
to
yes.
put their eggs underneath the soft young leaves, right? And then they get the food from the flower themselves. And then when the larva becomes active, it has a host that it gets to start eating from.
Oh yes. Okay, that's good.
And so finches also seek out these small, tiny seeds that come off of the flowers that are on them.
Mm-hmm. And Terry, Tea Garden Chicken said, butterflies are a big reason why I grow nettles.
Awesome.
That's
Awesome.
great. Let's take a peek at the recreational uses of nettle.
Well, how do we separate that?
Well, because so as I was looking at it, as I'm trying to expand recreational craft and homesteading uses,
Okay.
because this is something you can forage for it.
Yeah.
And therefore, you could use it in as first of all, it's a reason to get out there and walk and get out into nature, and then you find the plant for the seasoning, and it's appropriate for seasonal cooking.
Mm-hmm.
Small batch nettle beer or low alcohol hedgerow ales, as they're called. Believe it or not, it is a natural dye. Soft yellow green
Oh, I
from
bet.
the leaves and the stems.
That's what my tea looks like.
Yeah. Oh,
You
yeah.
know?
Yes.
And
Hmm.
and so where do you find it? You find it around the edges of meadows. It
Hmm.
loves places that have high annual rainfall. It
Yes.
loves water. So
Hmm.
you can look for it around riverbanks or stream banks, in forests where there is moisture retained.
Yes. If you are into the fiber arts, you could, process the bast fiber for cordage, thread, or paper. There's also the historical nettle linen. I've never seen this. However, I love me some good linen.
Oh yeah,
So,
paper out of nettle. Ooh, gotta go look
and
at that.
anybody watching actually a homesteader who has chickens, backyard poultry, there was some traditional use that it was historically added to dried or cooked nettles were added to the mash that was given to the poultry. So I do not have chickens. I'm curious to see if anybody watching has had that. So, but
Interesting.
yeah. Did you have anything else to add for the recreational usage?
Well, no, but now you got me thinking, about going and seeking out. I love fibrous papers,
Hmm.
you know, and just seeing if it's available out there anywhere,
That's a curiosity. Yes.
right? Now, I don't know if this store is still in existence. Papyrus?
Oh, papyrus. Yeah.
Yes,
Papyrus.
Papyrus, the store. And but then Paper Crafts was an offshoot of them.
Yes.
And Paper Crafts had all kinds of different stuff. It's Paper Crafts that I'm questioning if they're still out there or not, because
Mm,
that's where you could get all that kind of stuff.
yes.
One of my daughter-in-laws worked there, and oh, the stuff. It was so cool. Used it all up, of course, but
Yes. There's for me as an artist, there's nothing nicer than getting some really beautiful handmade paper. It's incredible. It's incredible. So,
I used to, when I was a teacher, I would take newsprint and just all kinds of stuff left over. I would save up all my envelopes with my bills and the bills themselves, and mash all that up into a paper that they could use. Some of it turned out like egg cartons,
of course, as it does.
right? And then I would get down to them removing all the heavy fibers, and I would get down to the bottom dregs where the water was very thin with the fiber, and it's cellulose, right? So when I went to press it, I got some nice papers.
Very nice. Very nice. Now we go on to that idea of, guidance and safety.
Mm.
I am going to say anytime you're thinking about using herbs as a supplement, please consult your physician, consult a skilled professional. We are not skilled professionals. We're skilled, but in other areas. So for entertainment purposes only. And so there's that. And so do you have any guidance or safety issues?
Well, if you're out there picking, anybody here who grows it intentionally has already got their protection in gear. It's just long sleeves because they are easily
Mhm.
broken and they don't necessarily stick to the clothing. They're
Yes.
they're not they're not penetrating in that respect.
Hmm.
And of course I was wearing gloves, so my hands were not were not in the way. They didn't grab anything. And where was I grabbing? Down at the bottom to make sure I got the root. And of course that meant all of this
All of it.
went down to the bottom and scraped all of that stuff. And so you just want to make sure that you don't have to make yourself sweaty hot either. You just have to have something to protect you from direct contact.
Yes.
And it's not as bad as poison ivy by any means, unless you have a personal problem with it.
I would also think with the nettles and the stings on it, you would get a faster reaction. A lot of times with poison ivy, poison oak, it'll show up later that day.
Oh my God. Or 2 weeks later.
Or 2 weeks later after the oil has been all over your body and you've been rubbing it, or your dog has run in it and has decided to, pet all over you.
Yeah.
Also with the guidance and the safety, we talked about what it can be a diuretic, so you want to make sure that all of the medications that you're taking, right, you're under consulting a clinician. There could be allergies to it other than just the stings.
Yeah.
So please be aware of that.
Right. I mean, it might be a cure for hay fever, but that might not be your allergy.
Well, and I do, let's add this to the idea of safety. If you want to keep your house safe, because part of what was also looked at is, this is the folklore about it. It's European, it's a form of folk protection, because you could throw nettles at the thresholds to keep evil out, and as plant nettles in a place that you don't want people to go.
That's right.
So I think that's a really, really interesting thing.
Right.
So that's quite good. Okay, and then this is the engagement area. I don't have any nettle to show you.
I don't either. None grown as far as
Diana is drinking nettle tea, so good for you. Where did you get your nettle tea?
My little grocery stores. You can get it in Ayurvedic aisles and natural food, but anywhere where they sell yogi tea or celestial seasonings and all of those little fancy off the wall brands. And this one is like a plain box, and it doesn't have any fancy language on it, no Sanskrit, no nothing. So it's just your average country girl tea.
Yeah.
Because they drink it around here, they use it.
Yes.
It's one of the beauties of being in semi-farm country.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
They may not carry a lot of vegan food, but they carry a lot of those kind of things.
Well, sure. And I also think if you are curious about nettle, I mean, it goes into a tincture. Mm-hmm. Could you put it in a salve?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Yes, knowingly.
Yes. In fact, now that I have started making magnesium cream, this is how I know that there's an issue with getting water and oil to mix. Well, we already know that, but I make a brine out of magnesium flakes and water. And then to put that in with the oils, well, water and oil don't stay mixed. So you have to whip it up. I do not have professional equipment, and I want to keep my ingredient list low. So before I started creating it, I bought 2 jars of someone else's manufactured, and the list of ingredients, it's like, what are some of these words? Even though they're probably all natural, that's not my point. This is just more money, and more people have to pay more. And I'm about keeping it all small brewery, right? And just, the fewer ingredients, the better the medicine works by itself.
There you go.
So nettle, this first one that I made, I was using plantain, which is very much like comfrey. But comfrey has a little toxic thing which you're not supposed to ingest because of it, but comfrey does not. But it does all the same things I mean, plantain does not, and it does all the same things. In fact,
Yeah,
plantain is what the natives used to use as a poultice by just chewing it up and
sure.
slapping it on a wound. So I've used the plantain with castor oil and magnesium brine, and I noticed that it separated a little bit, but you just pour that juice off and rub that on. That's just the brine that
Yeah,
has some of the essential oils in it. But then I decided, okay, let's see if we can get something else that will help to blend them together. So I got what you call it? Starts with the G. Glycanol? No, that's not the word I'm looking for.
mm,
I can't believe it. I was just saying it in my head before I told you, and then it wouldn't come out. Anyway, glycerin. Sorry, there we go. Because
glycerin.
it's used in soap, and soap is oil and water.
Yes.
So I got the glycerin, which has helped. But there's another trick, and it's got to be it's got to cool really fast, and all this other stuff. So
Yeah.
even though the glycerin helped, there still is a little separation, but
Yeah.
it's still only magnesium that's separating. So it's not harmful in any way.
Well, and Jules is like when he's getting out the big book, and because I wanted to look at this, and the medicinal parts are the fresh and dried flowering plant and the roots. So, and I think that's a really important thing to keep in mind.
Yeah.
As you are exploring nettle, if we've gotten you to think, when you do a search online, I encourage you to check reputable sites. The NCCIH is a good website. You can have European Medicines Agency. These are some of the places that I was doing some looking. And like culinary and safety from the BBC Good Food, Lady Bird Johnson Wildflower Center. This is me saying, make sure that you check your resources. If you are using the interwebs to help you find information and you go to a website, look to see the references and the links, the citations are extremely important. And then, because I worked in a library, we would go to the citations that are referenced to get the core information. And go to your local library. They probably have accesses to really good Medline. There's some good resources that they pay for and you pay for, and you get to use it.
That's right.
So, yes.
Because walking into the library and asking a question is free.
And so is calling the library as well. Okay, this has been great. I mean, there's a whole lot of information here.
Yeah.
And so I know this can be a lot of information. I do the Veiled Cottage Witch, Joey, I recently had on the channel. She's taken courses to be a licensed herbologist. So she's taken a lot of information. Her videos are very informative. They're not overly long, and she's got how many videos does she have in this playlist? She has 48 videos in that playlist. So great resource, and make sure that you subscribe to their channel. Joey does not know that I'm telling everybody that you should go pay attention to the Veiled Cottage Witch, but
yeah.
Pay attention to the Veiled Cottage Witch, everybody.
And for more information, you can go to the Northwest Indian College. It's in Billingham, Washington. And it's a plethora of information on that website. In fact, that's where I got all the big words from.
I love that. I want to say thank you, Diana, for joining me.
Thank you.
Mm.
I love doing this with you. This has been great.
Me
Honest.
too. I do want to remind everyone to like and subscribe to both of our channels because we both do a lot of different shows. And since Diana has figured out how to simulcast, you can catch them there. Do yourself the favor and click on the notifications bell so that you can be notified when things are coming up. And if you have somebody that you know who would benefit from this video, please by all means share it with them. So, okay, here we go. From sting to sing, Nettle proves that the first impressions aren't the whole story. Thanks for learning and laughing with us. If today sparked ideas, leave a comment with your favorite Nettle tip or tale and share this episode with a friend who loves a good green comeback. Thanks,
Right.
everybody. Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you. Thank you.